Europe, and now they find themselves here after a miraculous regionals.
So there's an unwritten rule that what we discuss behind stage generally stays behind stage, but I'm going to break that a little bit here.
Oh, no, don't do that. Come on, man.
I'm going to break that. And what that's going to be is most of the casters and analysts, a lot of people are favoring SK for the win overall.
Yeah, that is a little bit behind the doors. So the big thing about SK, the entire time, every other team is like, oh, yeah, casters, you want to come in, you want to watch, awesome. SK, I knocked on the door, and they looked at me like they were going to drop kick me.
They cursed at me and told me to go away.
They're like, listen, DM. We're like, look, we know Hercules is a thing, man.
All right, just calm yourself. All right, so let's take a look here. About 18 seconds until we get through. What are we going to see here?
Well, I think it's pretty much standard here. I don't see SK invading at all, even though Apollo is starting to get... Reels is a very, very gutsy player, dude. He's always going to force the issue. But other than that, it looks like we might see possibly an invade. I mean, with Bakasura, he can run up and grab that mid-harps.
So worst case scenario is he forces their hand here. They probably should use it. Yeah, see, Non immediately uses it. Maniac still will be able to rotate back quickly, get the experience for speed, then they're going to hit the blue buff with the hand, eat the minion, and that's going to be even faster clear while forcing their reduced clear. This is really big.
Now, SK Gaming, they looked at it, and right now they could potentially invade to go for this steal on blue, but instead what they're choosing to do is get into the lane and then use their Hand of the Gods, and that's going to force We Love Bacon to miss a full wave.
So left side, I'm looking at this over here. Suzuki and QE3Q, strangely, are getting pushed away from Apollo and Emir.
Now, the one thing you guys need to know, looking at this, is Sylvanas, the tree man, right there on the left side. He has an AoE basic attack, so he can instantly clear the wave as soon as he just auto-attacks it, which puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team, and that's going to do it in the mid lane here, where there's a little bit of pressure on Agni, but he is so safe.
I was just taking a look at the duo lane again, where we actually saw Reels almost get caught there. And then immediately Badger rotates in for a good push, and QE just immediately impales him backwards. But we have is that a four-man rotation?
That is a two-man rotation, and 115 to steal the speed buff. Now, as you take a look at your mini-map here, you're going to see Bastet is over on the right side. She's going to go and look for the speed buff and just leave with nothing.
You know, I don't think she knows that it got stolen until just then. They just walked over a ward on the left side. It's possible she understands that that went down. If not, she's going to rotate and it's going to waste some time. The small camp, however, is available there, so it won't be too much. But still, I'm very surprised. We haven't seen First Blood. We haven't even seen an aggressive invasion yet.
Yeah, and now, DM, you have a decent amount of experience here with QE3Q, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been playing on American servers for a very, very long time, and he used to play a mage.
This kid couldn't play any role. I mean, he is definitely the star player coming out of any region that's not Europe or North America. I mean, this is the guy to watch, and he was showing it a lot in scrims. He was winning most of his scrims against China, most of his scrims against Latin America, and then from what I understand, when playing against North America, he was holding his own, and more so, even taking a lot of kills.
As we go ahead and move over to the solo lane, now Maniac is playing Bakasura. Bakasura at level 5, he basically has to get a kill or he's going to be a little bit behind overall against Vimana. He does have it online. He's just going to get one more eat minion. Expect him to aggress in this scenario.
Yeah, you see the long range umbrella ring there. He did that specifically just to tag the front, which means he's very close to level 5. He wants to be able to get the Colossal Fury online. There it is, to make sure he can escape from Regurgitate. That's very, very big.
Now, Vimana, he does have Colossal Fury online, so it's going to be okay. And as we go ahead and take a look into the mid lane here, the mid Harpies are coming up at 315, DM.
That's right, and we have pretty big rotations. Both junglers are already set, and strangely, neither of the supports have decided to rotate, but with the push coming out from Glacial Strike, Badger has an immediate advantage running towards the left side camps. Right side camps, it looks like they're going to be free here for, Brazil.
And, you know, Zeros has had a speed buff since basically the start of the game. With this, he still has it. He is living in paradise. So each team is going to go ahead and take their respective buffs and go ahead and push back and kind of clear out. As you're looking, there's only one real objective on the map there, and that's the Harpies in the back right.
Okay, we got a rotation here. Zeros is invisible. Does QE recognize? Yes. No application of the damage. Are we going to see the slow come out? He's looking for some dragons. He got one off. The slow's not going to help enough. Nature's Grasp almost connected. That could have been first blood itself, but the first rotation, real rotation of the game is squandered.
Now, SK Gaming's playing the very, very passive EU meta. This is what we normally see from the Europeans is, okay, we're going to try to look to fight, but if not, it's not a big deal. We'll farm up, keep our advantage that way, and they're still bringing that here even versus We Love Bacon. And We Love Bacon, I think they expected it.
So Maniac right now putting himself in a pretty good spot, getting a lot of early clear off, but oh, that baby clear is just too much. What are we going to see from Maniac? Oh no, he didn't clear the back line. That means he still has the advantage. Let's watch Maniac. He's going to go for the rotation. That's going to be a lot of extra experience for him. Oh no, wow, Zeros didn't wait.
I think.
Oh, where is he going?
He might be going for the blue buff. He's going to bait it. He's going to be behind Vamana. He doesn't have kill potential. He will be able to do a decent amount of damage, though, and that's exactly what we're going to see. You can see the true damage just shredding through Vamana. He's going to have to force this back.
Yeah, he's getting low on mana, but left side, check this out. This is going to break down. QE getting very low here. Are they going to see first blood into the air? We're going to see him go. Reels lands back down to 2. QE going down no matter what. Ultimate still available for Zeros. First blood goes to Europe.
Bastet's going to go ahead and get out of dodge here, as that is going to be Agni and Sylvanas hanging out. On the right side of the map, though, we do have the pressure. Baka's going to be in the back. Vamana has no mana. He can dive if he wants to. He's got the minion wave as well. He's going to go for the damage. Is he going to look for the kill potential? He's going to jump on him. It's going to happen here in just 1 second. Maniac able to get the second kill for SK Gaming.
Now, for those of you who might not be completely familiar with Maniac, Maniac is one of the top-level Joust players in the world, which means he, better than anyone, understands how important it is to tower dive early if you have the health and mana advantage. And you can see how cleanly he did that. He was never in any actual danger and is now getting a buff by himself. That is why 1v1 is such an important skill, but don't sleep on it. SK's teamwork is bar none.
Now, DM, let me ask you this. Bakasura, he rushed a Witchblade going against a Vamana. Do you like the idea?
I do. Early on, he's relying a lot on his true damage, and he's still getting a decent amount of attack speed. Movement speed lets him keep up with Vamana, especially a Vamana that's ooming himself quickly. And physical protection. I mean, why not?
Yep. Now, when you take a look at the mid lane here, Captain Twig, he started off with the tier 1 of Book of Thoth, which means he had no pots off the beginning, and he can do that because he's raw. He has a self-heal, everything's fine. He's naturally a little bit ahead, D.
And it's curious to me that he would rush an item that puts you at such risk instead of maybe going to boots or something similar. But left camp's coming up right now. That one's going to go cleanly to Badger. Zero's rotating on the right side. It doesn't look like there was a steal here. Maniac could be in some trouble. Throws the Regurgitate down. I think his ultimate's definitely down. Jump still down for 3, but Twig rotates over and puts the heal down and keeps him safe.
Ao Guang's going to be in the backside. That's going to be Bastet. He's got the execute to Vegas. It's going to stop it. Zeros is able to get one. Badger goes into the ultimate. Colossal Fury is going to keep him alive for just a little bit, but the wall sense denied.
A little bit too late on the rotation there. Suzuki not quite getting the heal off that Vamana needed to be able to stay alive there. A beautiful rotation coming out from SK not only earns them the kills, but the mid camps as well.
And the big thing about this here is now that is the big difference between Apollo and Anher. Apollo can rotate to these fights. Anher has to sit in lane and just push it out. And now look, he's back. He doesn't even miss the wave. Anher is at a big disadvantage right now.
Well, Anher's going to back here. It looks like he'll be able to spend a decent amount of money. He already has about 20 stacks on his Dev's gloves. Boots 1 in hand, and it looks like Beads 1 as well, which is a little bit curious. I guess he is a little bit more afraid of Ymir than I expected.
Now, 7 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here. This is when we start to see Gold Fury attempts happen. But really, we also won't see any invades for at least another minute. So this is kind of where teams are going to farm up. You're going to look to see maybe a 4-man rotation if anyone's out of line.
I still can't believe that Maniac got out of that last fight. It looked like he was dead to rights, but that's the teamwork I was talking about before. Captain Twig, made sure he got the heal down, protected him against the cats, created enough room for him to be able to escape and reinitiate if necessary. And looking at Zeros now, I mean, sure, he got the Aegis on the ultimate. That's a little rough, but he still has 3 kills, and the Wing Blade is almost done.
As we go ahead and look here, that is going to be... Now, when you look over here, in the solo lane, it's really just trading a bunch of damage back and forth, and that's really how it's going to go for a very long time until the jungler rotates over there. But as you can see by the minimap, we do have Bastet going to be collapsing in. She could be going for a speed invade. This is going to be very, very hard on her to get away with this. She has no vision of it.
That, and she's trying to invade on an Aokwang who has some of the fastest clear in the game. Her pounce is down. They're going to move forward. No, not quite finding the slow. Captain Twig was looking for that Divine Light and didn't quite see the, I guess, the range of it. But Maniac's diving again.
Maniac going in. Colossal Fury's up. Bastet and Agni are going to be behind. He needs to stay alive for just a little bit. Maniac could be in a lot of trouble. He's going to jump over. He's going to hit the juke.
Dodges.
Agni's still trying to hit him. He can't do it. He's just putting on a show. He's still alive, and he almost ate the minion. Maniac showing off his skills. But meanwhile, that is a 3-man rotation, which means SK gets the Gold Fury. Are they going to look for the counter initiation here? Onher's in the back, and oh my God, Sylvanas just got shredded.
Oh, and a beautiful ult coming out from Twig there. Almost actually hits QE in the back. But again, you know, just like last game, if you rotate to solo, you're going to pay for it in duo. He gets a kill, 2 rotate, and then suddenly a 2v4 pops up. Beautiful play from SK Gaming, sacrificing a pawn to get the queen.
Now, as we take a look here, the experience difference is going to be 6,300 in favor of SK. Gold difference, 4,500. This is getting snowbally.
I'm looking at Aimless here. I mean, he's level 12 right now, but he's starting to fall behind. You know, Twiggy's gold is really the big thing here. You're taking a look at 5,700 at this stage in the game, comparatively to Agni at 51. Granted, they did get the Gold Fury, but there's still a pretty big disparity between the two.
Now, Agni could be in a little bit of trouble here. Zeros, you know, he started off with Adventurer's Blade, which means he's going to be going into Wing Blade. Is he worried about the slows?
It's possible. Check this out in the back line. Just getting away there. Love it.
Zeros.
Oh, he's still fighting. Aimless taking a lot of damage, and Zero's just undeterred whatsoever. Looking at Non straight down the barrel as the rotation's not coming because QE's in the base.
Now Maniac going for the steal yet again. Vamana really can't contest this on the right side. On the left side, though, Bastet in a lot of trouble as Zeros is actually going to completely disengage from there. I thought he had Captain Twig with him to help it.
Yeah, I think he just walked away. Right side, Maniac does take the blue buff, and we're going to see a rotation back here from QE, which will have some a decent amount of safety considering we just saw Reels back off. He'll spend even more money, and now, you know, he's sitting on full boots.
Now, we talk about Maniac all the time. Right now, he has 5,800 player damage on the map, DM. 5,800. 5,800
comparatively to the rest of the people in the game. Next highest, it looks like, is Aokwang.
37?
Yeah, 3,700. And then we have a almost 32 beneath it twice. I mean, there's a very big disparity. But remember, guys, Bakasura is strongest pretty much at level 9. He'll start getting some items, but generally he scales better with level than he does with certain items. It depends on the matchup. In this case, the true damage is the big swing.
Well, what's scary here for We Love Bacon is the fact that Bastet is known for her level 5 through 15.
Right.
That is when those kitty cats do a lot of damage.
Right, they have great Gold Fury and tower presence, but she's had to use them offensively and defensively in fights too many times. No objective push really whatsoever.
Yep, taking a look at the right lane here, Maniac still, I mean, there's really almost no kill potential right now for Maniac unless he really wants to dive in.
So, all right, bottom side here, Aimless getting a small camp. Looks like he's going to trade this one out with the Bumba's Mask. Right now, Reel's trying to bait out a little bit while longer as Badger comes in. Badger does have Blink 1 available. That's a 90-second cooldown, so he's going to want to use it as well as possible. Rathaterra still online for the peel. QE is staying very far back, does not want to be picked off.
And looking at the actives here, Heavenly Agility coming out for Ra. I'm a huge fan of this active on Ra, especially in the mid.
So right there, did you see the duo? He jumped over the freeze, baited it out. This could be a great opportunity for them to reinitiate, but unfortunately they didn't take it. Freeze is going to come off cooldown in a couple seconds. Kind of a wasted opportunity there.
Now, what kind of build do you do with On Her these days? There's so many different builds. You got the Zapman, you got the Standard. Is it going to happen? Are we going to see the Unicorn?
It's possible. The issue is he's 2 levels behind. Oh, check this out. 13 levels right now. A lot of damage coming through his patches there, and here comes Zeros.
Yep, he does have the execute. He's going to get one. Is he going to go crashing down? On Her, you got to go forward. No, buddy! He just had to move forward there. Agni has rotated over as well. They're going to get out of there as Badge is going to throw the wall up. He's going to barely miss the Frost Breath. But the jungle belongs to SK Gaming.
So right as you were saying that, I peeked over in the solo. I just saw Clear the Path used with Maniac coming in hot. Use Hand of the Gods. Gives away. I don't know if he's going to have enough damage to finish it up. Yes, he's a Jouster. Of course he knows he has enough damage to finish it up.
As we take a look at the left side, though, as well, Frost Breath's going to come down. That's going to be a decent amount of damage.
Cats.
They're going to go ahead and force them out. The Cats are going to deter them just a little bit. Bastet and Agni sitting at the tier 2. They almost have to give this away if SK Gaming decides to siege this tier 1.
Speaking of tier 1s, check out Captain Twig in the mid lane. That's going to be another 500 gold added to the coffers for Europe. That's going to extend their lead to 7,200 gold at just 1345.
Oh, that's scary. You never want to run into a Bakasura in your jungle there, Bastet. No mana, and that's an Aegis, but he's just going to be taken out, and he's just going to run away.
Oh,
Maniac.
What was that?
I actually don't know. That was a weird encounter, my friend.
Oh, Zero's throwing some dragons the way of QE3Q, who takes about 50% of his health. Rapid fire.
And that's another speed buff here. We Love Bacon has yet to have one of their very own speed buffs. The speed buff is probably the most important buff for a jungler to have,
Oh, yeah. It might be the most important buff in the game. I mean, red has its uses, blue has its uses, but speed is always relevant. Speaking of relevancy, the Gold Fury getting taken. Another one at 15 minutes. There's no pressure coming through as Zeros is just attacking the front line mercilessly. The blue gets taken, the speed gets taken. SK Gaming showing complete dominance.
And, you know, with SK Gaming, we always talk about Cog Red, right? Like, they get a kill and they clear up the jungle. Right now, SK Gaming is just in the jungle controlling it. They're like, look, if you want your jungle, you can have the fight.
You can fight for it.
You can fight for it.
They had 2 people at blue, 2 people at gold, and 1 person staring them down saying, come on, let me show you something.
And that's terrifying. Ymir does have the rotation here. Badger now just going to go ahead and force them out as we are going to go ahead and go back and see the buy here. Sovereignty still isn't even online for him because he decided to finish out the Greater Blink.
Well, the issue here is that even with the Greater Blink, he couldn't escape from those creeps in the mid lane long enough to get the Blink to actually activate. You need to be 3 seconds out of combat, and right there he just kept getting hit by archers. He was looking for the initiate, but he didn't get it.
Oh my goodness, this is the second Owl build I've seen like this. It's the double ring. You like the Telkines into Demonic Grip. I don't understand it, like the reasoning behind it, you know what I mean?
I would have preferred the Telkines a little earlier. The 40 damage is huge. I mean, his attack chain is very similar to Kali's, so adding that base damage on hit is so huge. And now shredding the protection is going to make Telkine stronger. The wing blade going to make sure he moves even faster, extra cooldown reduction, a little bit of health for the defense. This build is amazing. It gives him everything that he wants.
Now, the one thing, as we're talking about builds, that you have to look at is the fact that Agni actually rushed the Divine Ruin, and that's what happens when you play Raw. Meanwhile, QE3 is in a lot of trouble there. Ao Guang's going to be in front, and he's going to force out the Desert Fury, and he is just going to get cut into pieces. Ao, he attacks so fast.
What really hurt QE there was that the fact that he was level 12 and not 13. But we'll talk about that in a minute as we're going to talk about Maniac out of position for the second time this game. But even 4 people chasing aren't enough to deter. Captain Twig turns around immediately. Badger shows up as well. Oh, but a nice wall of fire put up there by Aimless, kind of making his team a little bit more safe. Now,
don't be surprised if you see a lot of pressure in the mid lane coming out from SK. Apollo is going to be split pushing on the left side. That's going to be Reals. It is going to be okay. Vamana is going to hit the rotation. Ao Guang's going to be right on his trail. Clear the path, going to be there. The wall's going to hit Colossal Fury. They're going to get stunned up there. Maniac's going to continue to go, and now it is just going to look to change to Sylvanas.
Oh, Wrath of Terror is going to do some damage. Should deter a little bit. Real's taking a lot of damage, but Nature's Grasp not going to hit. Heavenly Agility going to be used for the defense, and it looks like all 5 members of SK Gaming will move down.
And this, I mean, Gold Fury's not up there. They were able to get a tier 2 on the left side. That is still a win, and since they do have a Raw, they really could just sit in the mid lane, drop a heal, and go full health and decide to siege again, but I don't think they want to force this fight right now.
We're going to see Ori Chol go back to the base as Bastet dives in. She baits a few attacks there, but doesn't gain too much. Finally, we're going to see QE at level 13, which means he has access to level 3 Desert Fury. Had that been active in his last engagement, it might have gone in a different direction for him, but he didn't have the damage to burn Reels down, especially through the healing. So that was it.
Now, he doesn't even have Executioner online, and by he, I mean Onher doesn't even have Executioner, and he's still the 3rd highest in player damage in this game right now.
That means he doesn't even have the Light Blade.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's he's got a big milestone ahead of him.
He has a long road to be able to catch up to damage. I mean, granted, he has the 15 pen, but he's battling against 100% extra attack speed coming out from Apollo plus the global ultimate.
Now, Vamana actually grabbing an Ancient Blade right there for himself. He's got a couple different options, and there's a lot of variants that you can see with Vamana. But D, what do you like to see on the Vamana?
I'd like to see Maniac getting very, very aggressive, though maybe a little bit too aggressive. Up into the air, no, once again, the Aegis comes out, still gets picked off again, but he baits out the ultimate. That's going to be on cooldown for at least a little while. Looks like 73 more seconds, thanks to the small amount of cooldown reduction he gained, of course, from the Wing Blade.
Now, I'm surprised Vamana didn't continue to pursue there, but Nature's Grass is still online. Badge is able to get one kill in the middle of the lane. Captain Twig's going to go ahead and turn. They are in a sandwich, though. Al Guang's going to be cutting them off. He's going to blink in, and he goes, you know what? I want the tree. In comes Apollo, clears it up. Agni's going to do some damage, but not enough to get a kill. They're forced back under their tier 2. Nah, come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
They're going to go Gold Fury.
It's possible, but it's not up for 30 seconds. They're going to 5-man mid-camp, 4-man mid-camps.
Yeah, that's a lot of experience.
At least they got it, I guess.
The counter ward's coming down from Ymir. When you throw a sentry ward down, you can actually see normal wards. So the battle at this point is really big to control the jungle with wards. Right
now, they have to just pressure it. With the backing off that is happening from SK, they only have 3 people at the Gold Fury. They need to rush it down, but the problem is Bastet's on the right side, Vamana's on the right side, the Gold Fury's already spawned. This one's looking free again.
Yeah, and that's just going to get shredded through there. I mean, Badja, he can blow that ultimate all day long. He's not really worried about it. The big thing about Ymir is the Frost Breath and the wall. That's where all his damage and all his setup comes from, D.
So Gold Fury going to get taken here. We're going to take a look at the graphs. 13,500 gold for Europe.
Sweet mother of Mary.
And 19,000 experience. And guys, remember, there are no level 20s right now on the side of SK Gaming, so that is a raw gain.
That's not good. Oh my God, and then you look at it and then Bakasura has a chin size and it's just like, oh my heart, it hurts.
And you know what? He's building into Cloak now, more than likely going to be Magi's. This is really big because Bakasura puts out a lot of damage very quickly and then must wait to reinitiate. If he puts out a lot of damage and then tanks up enough damage and then dies, he still baits long enough for Zeros to get to the back line and for Reals to get to the back line. The bait potential of Bakasura in this game is through the roof right now. So for me, eyes are on Maniac.
Well, you know what else is interesting is the fact that he went Hand of the Gods, correct?
Right.
And then he decided to go Beats. He's had no problem sticking to his enemies. That's why we haven't seen the Sprint 3 or even anything. But it looks like we are going to be seeing the Fire Giant started. We Love Bacon should smell something fishy.
Well, they're going to smell their own bacon cooking here. Fire Giant gets taken very quickly. Rails diving into the mid lane, forcing Nan away as they see Ori Troll diving in. Zeros in the back line, dodging Suzuki as the Vamana goes down quickly. I don't know if
wow.
Oh my God!
He just shredded him. He's got a target in front of him. Look at him lining up. Both guys up in the sky.
Turn up.
Zeros is going to go in. Will Apollo come crashing down? He is. He's going to go for it. And then he's just going to force all the way back. That's going to be a tier 2. They have the Fire Giant. They're able to chunk through towers a little bit quicker. On the top left, you're going to see Anher trying to split push. He's trying to do something for his team. But right now, they have no help at the base. This is a very dangerous scenario for We Love Bacon.
Zeros dives right in, doing a lot of damage very quickly. Non super low. Zeros still with 2 dragons, throw them aside to Aimless, but the Phoenix does go down there. We're going to see Badger tank that one up and barely take any damage in the process.
Now, Apollo went back because he doesn't want Anher to get anything going for his team. As you can see in the top left, Anher is going to be there, but there's 4 people in the middle of the map. They do have raw heals, so they can continue to push as well as a Fire Giant.
You know, that's the #1 thing. When you have the lead, you protect the lead. Didn't want to even give up 1,500 gold to help his team push down the tier 2. He knows they can do it by themselves with their lead. The lead now will extend to 17,800, and we're going to see a rotation here as QE's maybe going to get pincered.
Maniac got one guy here, and then QE3.
Buddy.
Sorry, buddy, you're in a lot of trouble. Here comes the pinch. QE3 is going to get erased off the map. Meanwhile, taking a look down, Real's still trying to aggress. Zeros does not care that it's a tree. He's like, you know what, Sylvanas, I will chop through you.
5 members now of SK Gaming going to group up in the mid lane. The creep wave you can see is pushed up. They're going to utilize the backdoor advantage. We're going to see them try to burn down the tier 2, or rather, I'm sorry, no, the tier 2's down. We're going to see the Phoenix.
Wow. And, you know, just for like icing on the cake, Maniac's like, I guess I'll take another speed buff.
Oh, blink in, aimless, in trouble here, dashes into the wall. He's turning around there. Badger gonna take some damage, but obviously not enough. Oritrol should be able to get out of that one, but aimless gets sacrificed for his sins.
And it looks like they are going to be able to push down. That is going to be the middle Phoenix. It looks like they're going for the routine, though. They're trying to cut through everything, so this Titan is the weakest possible, and this is going to be the left Phoenix going. They have to have a stronghold. Zeros is on the back line. He's chasing down Sylvanas again. He's going to get stunned up. The cats are going to be there. There's a lot of damage. He does have the execute as well. Honor's going to be able to get out. Is he going to go crashing down is the question, DM.
He might need to. He's going to probably go right onto the Titan here. Jumping in, Maniac. No, goes to the back line trying to keep himself safe. Eyes on Suzuki. Does he have the peel? Titan is too low. SK Gaming will move on.
And that is going to do it there, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for SK Gaming. They will now advance to play Cognitive Red.
In what could be one of the most dynamic games that we could